In this video, I'm going to show you exactly where to get all of the materials required to get your crafting stations to level 3. And no, I'm not going to convince you to waste your time looting hundreds of cars, so just maybe eventually you'd get the items. Instead, as you'll see in the video, all of these spots are super legit, thoroughly tested, and in a lot of cases you'll get 2 or sometimes even all 3 of your items from a single run, so let's hop into it. Motor and a key. And a vertical grip 3. Holy. Wowzers. That is crazy. Oh, and an industrial battery. Lamau. Alrighty, first up, let's go ahead and talk about the industrial battery and motor, because you're going to want to use the same spot for both of these, and you'll be able to knock them out super quick. I'll also just briefly add that there are, of course, multiple locations that you can find all of these different items, and I'll probably throw in some of the honorable mention locations that I've actually tested and had success with, but primarily I'm going to just be focusing on / showing you what I deem to be clearly the best spots in my experience. Anyways, that's enough yapping. So for the motors and industrial batteries, you're going to want to head to the primary facility on the Dam Battlegrounds map, and specifically for these items, it really doesn't matter if it's day or night, you're going to find plenty of them either way. Once you're there, you'll find 3 separate shipping containers with these little cabinets on the side, and each of them will have 1 to 2 of those that are actually openable. This is where you'll find your motors and batteries, alongside a bunch of other valuable items, I might add. I'm not sure exactly why the loot in these is so good, considering it's daytime, and this is a low loot tier area, but I've started looting these shipping container cabinets on other maps as well, and they always just give straight juice. I'm talking attachments, keys, blueprints, rare materials, etc. Motor and a key. And a vertical grip 3. Holy. Wowzers. That is crazy. Oh, and an industrial battery. Lamau. Next up, let's talk about the laboratory Reagents. This is another pretty easy one, and there are definitely a few places that are actually decent for this, but by far the best 2 spots are the pharmacies on Buried City, located here and here. I'm not joking, I think I've found at least one of these every single time that I've hit both pharmacies in the same raid. Outside of doing some nifty parkour, both of these locations will just require you to breach the front door of the bottom floor in order to get inside. Once you're inside, simply search all of these shelves, and this is going to be the best place to find them. Quick note about the lab regions is that I've never actually found one of these in a container. I've only ever found them as ground loot, so like sitting on a shelf, bench, chair, or something like that. With that being said, I'd still definitely recommend just looting up the entire buildings if you can, because you can find a lot of good stuff here, including even rusted shut medical kits, which is what you will need for level 3 medical lab. But I wouldn't say this is the best place for those. Boom, laboratory reagents. Moving on, let's go over the fried motherboards, which are needed for the utility station. These suckers can actually feel incredibly rare if you aren't looking in pretty specific areas, and beyond that, actually pretty specific containers as well in my experience. First off, the best 2 areas by far to farm these are on the Blue Gate map, located here and here. Do keep in mind though that for this spot, you actually need to be underground. Just drop down at the reinforced reception zipline, and the room is very close by. Once you are at either of the 2 areas, the containers that I've had the most success with are these long, breachable ones, and they come in 2 different colors, sort of a silver steel, and then a more like sandy color one as well. Outside of that, any other breachable container in technological zones has a chance, as well as searchable computers, but you'll get them much quicker if you just hit the long rectangle ones I mentioned a moment ago. Bang. Fried motherboard. Easy peasy. Oh, wow. 2 back to back. Is that easy? Up next, we have the Rusted Shut Medical Kit, and unfortunately, this is the only one of the 6 materials where I don't actually have any footage showing me looting one, but in the background, you are seeing the route I took to find all 3 of the ones I used for upgrading my medical lab. And I have also found more since then. Like I said, I just don't have it recorded anywhere, so you will have to extend a little bit of trust here. With that being said, as I mentioned before, you can find these in the same spot as the lab Reagents, but the best place to find them, in my opinion, is actually just the hospital on Buried City. I know, shocker, right? Unlike the lab Reagents though, these I have actually found both inside of containers, primarily the little medical cabinets, but also as ground loot, so just sitting on a shelf, little medical bed, or stuff like that. There's no particular one spot in the hospital that I've had more luck with than another from what I can recall. So this is really a situation where you just want to hit every part of the hospital, loot everything, and hope you find one. I'll briefly add that in comparison, every other material I've talked about so far, I'd actually bet money that I'd find anywhere from 1 to 3 of them in just 1 to 2 raids. Whereas this one, I'm not less confident in the location by any means, but it does just seem a bit more random in my experience. I've definitely found 2 in the same raid before, but I've also gone there a few times and recall finding none. So ultimately, this one could take a little bit longer than the others, but feel free to try out any of the honorable mention spots I bring up later for this one if you want. I just personally had worse luck in those spots during my testing. Lastly, and certainly by far the most annoying for the majority of people, is the rusted gear. This is the one where a lot of people might tell you to go to the underground section of Warehouse Complex on Bluegate and just loot hundreds of cars until eventually you get lucky and find one. But trust me when I tell you that I have literally looted 150 plus cars in that exact spot and have not found a single rusted gear while doing so. I'm not going to say it's impossible to find it there, although I haven't actually seen a single clip of it happening, but there are significantly better areas to find it. To be specific, I have a super short, 3 to 5 minute route on Damn Battlegrounds, where I'd bet money that I'd find at least 1 rusted gear every few raids. However, the catch here is that although I have actually found them during the daytime in this spot, the chances do seem significantly higher when doing it at nighttime. So for that reason, I would recommend waiting around until night raid hits Damn Battlegrounds and then try it out for yourself. Anyways though, the location I'm speaking of is right up here at the top right section of Power Generation Complex. Once you're there, you will always find 4 of these beige colored generator looking things, and either one or both of the sides will be breachable, with a small chance that neither side is breachable. That part is random, unfortunately. Thankfully though, like I said, there are 4 of them in this spot, so the easiest way to go about getting your rusted gear here is to just spawn in with a free loadout during the night raid. If you spawned close by, then great, go loot them really quickly. If you get a gear, then play like a rat and try to extract. If you don't spawn anywhere nearby, then I'd recommend just surrendering and loading back into another match to see if you can get a better spawn. Also, yes, I know that I didn't get a rusted gear in this specific raid, but here is footage of my squad finding one in this spot, just so you have some proof.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, God bless.
Alright, here, neck, here's your gun part and gear.
Bless
Make sure to put that gear in your safe pocket.
And here is me finding another rusted gear on Buried City and giving it away to a random player. Hopefully, I was able to make his day. Oh my goodness, a rusted gear from here? Oh! Hey, yo, you still in here?
Yo, hello.
Any of y'all need a rusted gear or motor?
Hi there, friend.
Hello, you need a rusted gear or motor for your crafting stations or nah?
I'm pretty good.
Alright, who said they needed the rusted gear? Where you at?
I think they're down below. Oh, they're up?
I'm like 5th floor right now. Here, I'm gonna go to the staircase.
Alright, I'll meet you there. Go ahead. You got it.
Okay, you're the one that needs rusted gear, right?
I am. Let's see, hold up. Would you like a flesh components?
No. I'm about to surrender. Y'all can just take all my loot. I shouldn't have asked for heals.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just getting these for footage for a YouTube video.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
By the way,
Oh.
what's your YouTube, by the way?
Vinidiction dash Arc Raiders.
Alright, everybody, did you hear that? Go ahead and go give them a follow. Sorry, I'm currently streaming.
Hey, I appreciate
Oh,
it.
shit.
Alright, y'all have a good one. Take it easy.
You have a wonderful
easy.
day, okay?
Outside of it being a wholesome moment, I wanted to also add that clip because I've found multiple rusted gears after upgrading my gunsmith in completely random locations that you wouldn't expect to find them, but I still wholeheartedly would endorse that quick little route on Damn Battlegrounds that I showed before, because that's where my entire squad was able to find 9 rusted gears in a single day. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please make sure to subscribe.